Taking out a small advance from a cash advance app like FloatMe can feel like a quick fix when you are facing an unexpected expense right before payday. These applications are designed to bridge the gap between paychecks, offering small dollar liquidity without the rigorous credit checks or predatory interest rates traditionally associated with payday loans. However, when the automated repayment date arrives and your checking account does not have enough funds to cover the withdrawal, the financial ecosystem surrounding your account begins to shift. Understanding the mechanics of what happens when you fail to repay FloatMe on time requires a close look at the terms of service, the technological processes of automated clearinghouse transactions, and the broader implications for your financial health and credit profile. When your scheduled repayment date approaches, FloatMe initiates an automated debit from the linked checking account using the debit card or bank credentials you provided during registration. If your account balance is insufficient to cover the advance, the transaction fails. Unlike traditional banks that might immediately process a transaction regardless of your balance and charge an overdraft fee, modern cash advance apps typically utilize systems designed to prevent multiple failed attempts that could trigger compounding fees for you, though their own internal protocols kick in immediately. The primary and most immediate consequence of a missed repayment is the suspension of your account access. FloatMe operates on a membership and scoring model where your ability to borrow depends on a successful repayment history and consistent account activity. Once a repayment fails, your internal score drops instantly and your eligibility for future advances is revoked. You will find yourself locked out of requesting new funds until the outstanding balance is completely cleared. This sudden loss of access can disrupt your budgeting safety net if you have grown accustomed to relying on the app for short-term liquidity between pay cycles. Following the initial failed debit, FloatMe will typically attempt to reinitiate the withdrawal process. Automated systems are programmed to retry the transaction after a short grace period, often within a few days, or on your next recognized payday when a new deposit hits your account. During this period, you may receive automated notifications via email, SMS, or push notifications alerting you to the past due status of your account. These communications serve as a reminder to resolve the balance and provide instructions on how to manually settle the debt if the automated attempts continue to fail. A critical concern for many users is whether failing to repay a cash advance app will negatively impact their credit score. Traditional credit bureaus such as Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion rely on data from lenders who report loan performance. Many cash advance apps, including FloatMe, generally do not perform hard credit checks upon sign-up, nor do they typically report on-time payments to major credit bureaus. Consequently, a single missed payment or a short delay in repayment often does not immediately appear on your credit report as a derogatory mark. However, the operational reality of unpaid debts changes if the account remains delinquent for an extended period. If an account remains unpaid indefinitely and internal recovery efforts fail, fintech companies reserve the right to escalate the matter. This escalation can involve selling the debt to a third-party collection agency or transferring the account to a specialized recovery department. Once a debt is transferred or sold to a collection agency, the dynamics change significantly. Collection agencies have the legal authority to report delinquent accounts to major credit bureaus. If this occurs, a collection trade line will appear on your credit report, which can substantially lower your credit score, making it difficult to secure traditional loans, housing leases, or even employment opportunities that require credit checks. Furthermore, third-party collectors may initiate communication via phone calls and letters to recover the outstanding funds. Another factor to consider is the impact on your primary banking institution. While FloatMe may not charge exorbitant late fees in the same manner as traditional payday lenders, a failed automated debit attempt can interact poorly with your bank. If FloatMe attempts to withdraw funds from an account with a zero balance, your bank might evaluate whether the transaction triggers any internal policies. While many modern fintech apps coordinate with banks to minimize user fees, a rapid succession of automated debit requests can sometimes result in non-sufficient funds or overdraft fees levied by your bank, depending on your account type and agreement. These bank fees can quickly compound, turning a modest $20 or $50 advance into a much larger financial burden due to institutional charges. Resolving a delinquent balance with FloatMe is generally straightforward if addressed proactively. Most apps provide an in-app support portal or a customer service contact email where users experiencing genuine financial hardship can communicate their situation. While these platforms operate automated business models, reaching out before the debt is sent to collections can sometimes open avenues for extended repayment timelines or structured resolutions. Ignoring the notifications and hoping the balance will disappear typically leads to the more severe outcomes of account closure, collection agency involvement, and potential credit bureau reporting. The overarching design of cash advance apps is to provide a temporary bridge, not a permanent substitute for earned income or emergency savings. When the repayment fails, the temporary relief is replaced by administrative friction, loss of service access, and potential downstream financial penalties. Managing your budget to ensure that the repayment amount is safely sequestered in your account before the withdrawal date is the most effective way to avoid these complications. Maintaining open communication channels with the platform and understanding the contractual obligations you agreed to upon downloading the application ensure that a short-term cash flow crunch does not evolve into a long-term credit and financial challenge.